Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Factorio. Last time we were here, we let me go ahead and open the map here and zoom in. Last time we automated our green science. Just taking a quick look. Yeah, we're not feeding enough green science into the labs. Again, I'm not too concerned about that at the moment, but we may need to expand that later as research gets more and more lengthy, right? But all good. Again, just not too terribly worried. We'll figure it out eventually. Anyway, and then from there, we gathered some additional resources, right, from our mines out here. We belted in a whole bunch of iron from our mines out here, one of which we're already smelting into a fourth line of iron, right? So now we have 4 lines of iron, 2 lines of copper. The rest of these I want to smelt into steel. So yeah, let's do that. Let's get that started. And then from there, I'm looking to expand our mall so that way we can move on to the next steps. So cool. Let's see, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Oh, jeez, this looks a little weird. I must have put a belt backwards. Oh. There we go. Fixed it. Lovely. That was a little weird, but okay. I don't know why I made that mistake, but I clearly made that mistake somewhere. Okay, so let's do this one belt at a time. But I am going to need to move that down there like that. Something like that. Okay, lovely. Okay. So basically, there's some really cool steel designs. Let me open up again, the Catherine of Sky blueprint book, which I love to steal from on occasion. Just to show you a really cool compressed design. I don't have it memorized, so I'm not going to use it, but just to show you something really cool. No, it's not in production. It's in, where is it? Is it in raw resources? No, it must be in production. Early game, smelting, there we go, perfect. So for steel, let me open this blueprint up. You can see a really nice compressed design, where basically what happens is you feed the ore in, and then using a very similar design to what I already know how to use, you're taking the ore and you're routing it along the outside. The ore then gets smelted into iron on the outer layer, and then the inner layer takes the iron plates that get smelted on the outer layer and smelts it into steel plates. And then the coal gets split to the outer layer, and it also gets split to the inner layer with 2 belts running along those lines with these medium power poles powering the whole thing, because small power poles wouldn't be able to power the whole thing because you have a constant line of inserters here and here. Now, I think I could probably figure this out, how to design it myself without needing to just steal the blueprint. But since I don't currently have it memorized, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this design here, which I do know how to do, and I'm just going to do 2 of them, right? One to smelt the ore into plates, and then another one to take those plates and smelt it into steel. Now, the thing is about steel is, let me go ahead and show you, right? So iron plates take 1 iron ore, and then it takes 3.2 seconds to turn that 1 iron ore into 1 iron plate. You then take 5 iron plates, spend 15 seconds to turn those 5 iron plates into 1 steel plate. So basically, you need 5 iron plates per 1 steel plate, and they take a significantly longer amount of time to craft. And the way that it all works out is it actually works out perfectly to where if you have a smelting column like this with 48 stone furnaces, all doing iron plates, you can have an exact same size smelting column, and it equally converts it into steel plates. And then because it takes 5 iron plates to make 1 steel plate, the output is going to be 1/5 of a yellow belt of steel, which is why I think we can just take these 4 belts of iron ore and put it all onto 1 belt for steel. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy our structure here. So I'm going to do something like this. There we go. And I'm just going to paste it, right? So we're going to need 2 for 1 steel. And then 1, 2 for another steel. 1, 2 for a third steel. And 1, 2 for a fourth steel. Whoo! We got lucky with the amount of space that we left down here. Lucky, lucky, lucky. So now let's go ahead and just clean up any places where we need to clean up. And then we'll build these and then route the resources, and that should give us plenty of steel to work with for the time being. We may need more down the road, but at least here in the earlier game, it should be plenty. I think. I hope. Fingers crossed. Now I need to figure out where I want to put it. On the bus. Where do I want to put it? That's always the question. Maybe I'll just put it right here alongside with the stone. That's kind of where I want to put bricks when we eventually start smelting bricks. So I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in its own section on the bus. Who even knows? Who even knows? We'll figure that out once we get there. So let's start building these. And unfortunately, this is a little bit of a hassle. It's going to take me a little while to build these. So if you do want to skip ahead in the video, feel free. I really don't mind, because I'm just going to be spending the next, I don't know, probably 5 to 10-ish minutes just building these smelting columns here in order to take our iron ore and convert it all into steel. One of the benefits of some early bot mods kind of thing would make it really easy for those bots, whether it be nanobots or early start bots. There's a couple of mods out there in order to do it. Would make just taking these and building them really quickly. But I'm going to build them by hand because that's how vanilla works. Until we eventually get to bots. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit. Feel free to skip ahead. In the meantime, while I'm building these, I'm also going to queue up some additional research. Again, just researching everything as we go. We're almost done. Well, maybe not. But we're getting pretty close to researching everything that just red and green science will get us. We'll need to start automating the next science relatively soon in order to keep research moving. But for the time being, I'm just going to research everything left to right. It's all good. Okay. Let's keep building the smelting columns. Woo! Smelting columns. Smelting columns. Gonna make lots of steel. Gonna make lots of steel. It's a good thing we had 1,000,000 stone furnaces crafted at the beginning of the game, right? Because look, we're using a lot of them. We're not going to quite use all of them, but we are using a lot of them. We're going to use a ton of belt. We're going to have to go back to the mall and get some more. All good, but when this is all done, we're going to have so much steel, it's going to be awesome. So what you can do here is you push Q to grab, and then click in order to just place what you just grabbed from the ghost, and then push Q to clear your hand, push Q again, click, push Q to clear your hand, push Q again, click, push Q to clear. So that's how I was doing that so fast. Like that, see? Whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. Don't misclick like I do. Hopefully your mouse accuracy is a little bit better than mine. Again, I need to start getting back into StarCraft or something, get my mouse accuracy back up. Do all of the underground belts we're going to need. Just building this one piece at a time. Actually, I think what I might do is I might route the iron backwards instead of forwards. So I probably shouldn't be putting all of these undergrounds. I'll figure that out in just a second. Let's go ahead and build the belts we need for this first one. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to route it backwards and then route it back. Well, no, I'll route it forwards. It's fine. It's fine. I'll route it forwards. It's fine. Because this is designed to take the resources in from this side. So we'll use that design. We'll just route it around the front. It's all good. Okay. Lots of belts, lots of belts. Lots of belts, lots of belts. Just double checking the numbers here before I finish building all this. So iron into steel, and then iron into steel, iron into steel, iron into steel. Okay, I think I've got that count. Good. I think we're all set there. So let's go ahead and finish building these out. We are building a lot of smelters here. I am slightly worried about the amount of coal that we're going to need because we're going to be using a lot of coal. We're using some coal here. We're going to be using a lot of coal here, but I think we're going to be okay. And we're only feeding 17 miners worth of coal to the whole thing instead of 30 like I would like to be. But I think we're going to be okay. If we start running low on coal, then we'll go find some more coal. Which on the map, it looks like the nearest one is down here. So I would want to train that in, because that's pretty far to run belts. So hopefully we don't run low on coal for a little while at least. I could always pull some coal from the power, but I hate pulling coal from the power because I never, ever, ever, ever want power to go out. Ever. Never, ever, 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 ever. So I always want plenty of coal going to power at all times. I'd rather have coal run out in the smelting than run out in power. Because if the smelting goes offline, obviously you'll run out of resources eventually, but your factory will still run for a little while. You run out of power and everything just shuts down immediately. Running out of power is just, it's a really big deal. So I would rather not. We are out of belt. Let's go get some more. Let's go get some more belt. Maul. Thank you, Maul, for giving me all the belt. I really appreciate it, because we need a lot of it. I'm going to also take it from here, too. Give me tons of it. I'm going to grab another stack of the underground belts, too, because why not? And then I'm going to need lots of yellow inserters as well. So let's just grab everything that the mall's making for now, so that way it can keep churning them out. I might even use all of these 360-ish inserters. Because let's see, there's 48 furnaces, and each furnace needs 2. So 48 times 2 is 96. So each smelting column needs 96 inserters. So it's a lot. But it's all good. Again, in Factorio, I don't mind building big. I do not mind building big at all. Building big is usually a good thing. Because in my opinion, especially with biters off, with biters on, you do need to be a bit more efficient. But with biters off, in my opinion, it's better to just build big immediately with whatever resources you have than build small, right? And with that in mind, I might want to expand green science. Because like I said, our green science isn't currently keeping up with how many labs we have. So maybe I'll take that to heart and expand green science once we get the steel up and running, before we move on to our next science. But it is going to be a while before we get the next science. And the reason for that is because I do want to expand them all. Red and green science research unlocks tons of stuff. Tons and tons and tons of stuff. So we need to expand our mall in order to build all that stuff. I feel that's very important. So that the words today. So that I would want to do first before we move on to our next science. I lost my train of thought. I'm not even sure if that sentence made sense. Because I was looking at the lights and was like, okay, I need to start placing lights. So my mind immediately went away mid-thought. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, basically, we want to expand our mall before getting the next science. So that way we can start using all of the lovely stuff that we're researching with red and green science. So it's going to be a little while before we get to our next science. And most of the time in a passive playthrough like this, more experienced Factorio players go for chemical science next instead of military science. So they usually go for blue science next instead of black science next. But black science is pretty easy to automate, and blue science is more difficult to automate. So since black science is really easy to automate, I kind of want to just get it out of the way first. Wow, are we really running out of coal that bad? Wow, we really will have to get more coal, I think, sooner rather than later. That's a little unfortunate. Good thing we're going to be updating our mall and automating trains. So we can start training in that coal relatively quickly. Okay, so let's see. How do we want to do this? So I think we want the outside one going to the last stack. We want the bottom one going to the first stack. So let's take the bottom one first. There we go. Let's take the bottom one first. And then route it into the first. So I want it to go here. And then that's going to output, output iron plates, and we're going to input that into here, and then that's going to output steel plates. Okay, lovely. And then let's turn this on just to make sure before I do the rest of them. But before we turn it on, I do need to put the inserters down. And then, of course, power it on. I'm just trying to ignore the fact that a lot of these power pole wires are getting crisscrossed around. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Because when I copied the structures, the arrays, right? Copy and pasted the arrays. It just automatically started to connect all the poles together, right? So, and that's fine. Normally, if you place them down manually without copying the blueprints down, they'll remain straight. But again, I'm just trying not to care because it really doesn't impact. Oh, I forgot to actually do this side. Because it really doesn't impact the factory and how it works as a whole, right? It's the same number of power poles anyway. It's just aesthetic. And the factory already looks amazing anyway. A few crisscrossing wires is really no big deal. It's just me being crazy. Okay, there's that. Now let's do this one, this column here. And let's get this all powered on. Okay, and that should give us steel. And that's exactly what it looks like it's doing. It's going to give us steel. Perfect. So now let's route the next one. Well, let's just start placing the next inserters down. That's fine. And then we'll start routing the next resources into it. Zooming in just makes it much easier to place things like inserters in a nice fluid motion. That's why I zoomed in a lot there. So that way you can just hold the mouse button down and do a little flick in order to just place. So basically, like when you're zoomed in like this, it just makes it really easy to go Q to grab it, and then just hold the mouse button down, right? Because it's not going to overwrite this thing in the middle, right? I'm holding the mouse button down, nothing's happening, and then just right? So you can just do a little flick like that. So zooming in helps me do that more accurately. There we go. Okay. Now moving on to the next stack. Or into the next column. Column, stack, whatever you want to call it. Wow, we are almost out of inserters. Good thing we grabbed those inserters early, so that way we gave them all some time to build more. Because yeah, we need a ton of inserters. Let's go get some more before I start placing the next one down, so that way I don't accidentally forget any. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and queue up the next set of researches. Just, again, everything. And I'll walk you through all of it. As we go. Okay, more inserters, thanks. If I need to use some blue inserters, I will. I don't mind. Even though it's not going to speed it up at all, I don't mind. But I shouldn't have to. The mall should be able to keep up with my usage of them. At least to a reasonable enough degree to where I should be able to finish the stacks after one more trip back to the mall. Okay, there's that. Now for the next one. Oops. And then let's grab these ones and work our way back down. Okay, so we don't have enough inserters for the next one, so I'm going to give them all some time to craft more inserters, and I'm just going to use that time, and I'm just going to use this time to go ahead and route the next line of ore. So let's do that. Okay, and that's some more steel. Lovely. Now let's route the next set of resources. And then that's the next steel. Alright, let's go get more belts and inserters and we'll set up our final steel soon. More belts, please. See, we're still working on inserters, but that's alright. We'll take what we can get. 213 should give us roughly 2 more stacks, which is just 1 stack short of finishing them all. So hopefully by the time we finish these next 2 stacks, there will be enough inserters in them all to finish the last one. I don't know why I keep calling these stacks. I guess smelting stacks is kind of what I'm going for in my head, but I should be calling them columns. Smelting columns or furnace columns, furnace stacks. I don't know. I don't know the proper terminology. It's fine. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay. Next column. Thank goodness for the mall, am I right? Alright, let's route additional resources to buy the mall a little bit more time. And then we should be in good shape. Oh, I didn't quite route that right, but oh well, we left enough room, so it's okay. It worked out in the end. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to move this one more up. Like that. Up here. But it's okay. Actually, I think I wanted it 2 more up. I wanted here, and then here, and then here. That's where I originally should have put this one. But it's okay. Like I said, we had enough room for all of it anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. And that's the last steel resource routing. Now we just need to get the inserters. We should be in good shape. Let's queue up some more research. Blue science research, hooray! See, there's so much red and green science research to be done. It's actually quite incredible. Alright, more inserters. Alright, that's enough inserters. We are happy now. We are happy, happy, happy now. Thank you, Mall. Thank you very much, Mall. Much appreciated. There we go. Sweet. That should be getting us steel shortly. All right. So now let's merge all that steel, right, onto just one part of the bus. So I'm going to go and stick a setup kind of like that in order to just get all 4 belts. So that's going to connect to that guy. And that's going to go in here. And then you're going to go in there. And then you're going to go in there. And you are going to go in there. And out of that, we're going to output 1 belt of steel. And I'm just going to go ahead and merge it here under the stone. Even though I wanted to put the bricks there, it's fine. We can put the bricks elsewhere. But now we've got a belt of steel. This is awesome. And now that we've got the steel, in the next video, we're going to be able to... expand our mall. So yeah, good stuff. Life is good. Life is very good. Life is absolutely fantastically good. Let's see here. Yeah, these are... it's not quite going in there. Maybe it's 2 belts of steel come out of this. If that's the case, then I'm going to want to put it on its own part of the bus. I'm going to want to do something like this. So 2, 3, 4. Oh, that wouldn't quite fit. Well, I can make it fit though. So that would be 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Because it looks like these are still backed up, right? So I think I can get 2 belts of steel out of this. Let's try it. Let's see how it works out. Oh yeah, hold on. I want it down here, like that. And then I want this one down like that. And then once this gets all the way out of range of the stacks, I can go ahead and move them out. So 2, 3, 4. So that's the 4 there, and then 1, 2, and then 1, 2. Oh wait, no, hold on. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is 1, 2. There we go. I knew that looked wrong. So yeah, I want to route it down that way. And then likewise with this one. And then I'm going to have a bunch of steel in my inventory because I'm going to clean up that whole big belt there. But it's okay. I'll be able to get rid of it eventually. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean up this belt. That's a lot of steel in my inventory. Holy cow. You're getting tons of steel out of there. Okay. Tons and tons of steel. I'm a happy guy. Alright, let's start dropping off our excess resources. So I don't have any copper or iron, but I do have excess coal and stone. So excess coal goes here. Let's go ahead and update that to a blue inserter, just so it dumps the coal off a little bit faster. Excess stone as well. Okay. And yeah, it looks like we are struggling a little bit on the coal front. So yeah, we'll have to fix that sooner or later. maybe what I can do, actually I think I can fix it now before we end the video, just to make sure. I think what I can do is I can use a prioritized inserter, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to, wow, we just lost that. That's all mined out. That's all mined out too. Yep, okay. So what I can do now is I can put a splitter here, and I can give it an output priority to the right. So that way it prioritizes the power. And then whatever is not going to power, I can go ahead and merge here. There we go. And then that should help out quite a bit. And then I can go ahead and balance it. There we go. That should help quite a bit. So basically what that output priority does, right, is it prioritizes outputting coal this way. And then when this backs up, then it will start outputting coal this way. So that way the power always gets what it needs first, and then the rest will get what it needs. And we're still not using all our power yet, which is awesome. We don't need to expand our power yet, which is awesome, because I don't have a way to get coal easily in yet. Cool. So we've expanded our resources. We have now 2 lanes of steel. We have optimized a little bit our coal routing. Next time, we're going to go ahead and start expanding our mall. And that's going to be awesome. So yeah, once again, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope they all have an awesome day.